Good evening, ham radio operators, and welcome to the Weekend Wind Down Net. Before we get going, is there any emergency traffic or priority traffic in this frequency? Hi, well, this is Ernesto, KI5PZN. That's Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November, and I'm your net controller for this net. This net is heard through the Universal Link Repeater System, KA5D, and the Ohio Amateur Radio Club Repeater System, M50AK. If you're using the Universal Link Repeater System, make sure your tone is set to 97.4. If you're using the Ohio Amateur Radio Club Repeater System, set your tone to 114.8. If you are outside of Austin, we would love to hear from you too. The way to get in is via Echolink by connecting to KA5D-R, that's Kilo Alpha 5 Delta-Romeo, or M50AK-R, that's November 5 Oscar Alpha Kilo-Romeo. You can also reach us via All-Star by connecting to node 51444. The Weekend Wind Down is Interact2Net. We get together on Sunday night to talk about the weekend. You work on a project, barbecue, watch the movie, or were you stuck at home catching up in chores? Have we later or not, tell us, was your weekend a blast or a bust? Please note this is a directed net, so please refer all call to me, net control. Don't forget to leave room between check-ins and transmissions to allow for any emergency traffic. Well, let's start the Weekend Wind Down Net with a segment called Discord Dish, where we serve up our favorite Discord post from the Ohio Amateur Radio Club Discord server. Obviously, I needed some coffee this evening. All right, well, in case you know what Discord is, it could be an app. You can download the app, Discord app, or you can go to the website, the web page, and use Discord there. It works pretty well. It's got a bunch of channels, and you can talk to people in all of those different channels. And the way we have it set up for the Ohio Amateur Radio Club is in all, ham-related channel, and I'll be talking about some of the postings that caught my attention throughout the week. The first one is on the propagation, and there's a lot of activity on that channel too, but that was great. K5BZI, it had a contact on 10 meters on 28.355 with the Isle of Man. So if you have a 10-meter axis, now's the time. It's active, and people are having DX, really good DX left and right. But he's also working on a project. He's restoring an antique car. I forgot the model and the year, but he posted on the Southside Simplex channel pictures of the project, updates on the project if you are into that, restoring vintage cars, antique cars. Southside Simplex is the channel where Ray posted the pictures. On the antenna channel, Bill and 5SMO posted a video on a 5/8 wave antenna built. So if you are interested in that, I have one of those for 10 meters. Well, it covers 10, 11, and 12, and it's a really good antenna, 5/8 wave. And there is a link, YouTube video. And that's on the antenna channel. It was posted by Bill again and 5SMO. We have a channel for SSTV, Slow Scan TV. And Sam K5JM posted a video there, a link. There is a St. Louis Amateur Television Society. If you're into that, you know where to go. SSTV channel, and there's a link there. Thank you, Sam, for posting that. And you can go check that out. Tons of other postings on the propagation channel. It's been very active in the last month or so. Like I said, people are having really good DX, and if you are a new ham, that's contact for really far away places outside of the U.S. usually. So it's very active. The VHFN Up channel, Bill and 5SMO posted a 250 watt well, this is a build, a video for a build for 250 watt, 2.4 gig amp. If you are interested in that, that's on the VHF and up channel. Really interesting, really cool. And also on the antenna channel, also by BLM5SMO, there's a antenna calculator. So if you want to check out and mess with your antennas and do their calculations, there's a link on the antenna channel. For the post that I picked from this week, there's a bunch of stuff out there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't understand. That's why I don't pick those. But if you're into building, fixing radios, all those things, we do have channels for that. It's easy and free to join. All you have to do is go to n50ak.org, scroll down, and you'll see the Join Discord button, and just click on that guy, and you should be able to get in. And like I said, it's free, and it's a great place to go and ask questions. And if you're a new ham, you get to meet new people, and get your questions answered, or you get your answers. And also, that way you can keep up with what's going on in the ham community in this area. So again, at n50ak.org, scroll down and join the fun on Discord. It's free to join. Listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the Universal Link repeater system and the Oakhill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, well, I had a really awesome weekend. Can't complain. That was fun. Did a whole bunch of stuff. On Saturday morning with the ham breakfast, and then after that, which was really awesome, got to hang out with a bunch of guys. That's always recommended. It's every Saturday at around 8 a.m., and we hang out there for a few hours at the Waterloo Ice House on Burnett Road, just south of 183. After that, I went up to the Miracle League and had a little game with my son Enrique, and then after that, out and stopped by Paul's house and Rusty, just hung out with the guys. Other hams. After that, we went fox hunting in the evening around the Elmer's Net and checked into the 220 net. So it was a fun day for sure yesterday. Today is just continuing with moving because I'm going the Gypsy way. So, purging all the stuff and packing and moving stuff around, and also working on the non-profit, putting all kinds of furnitures and things up there, which is a lot of fun. And now running this awesome net, but I'm curious. I wonder how everybody else's weekend went. We're going to check for check-ins. We're going to ask for check-ins, but before I do that, let me do a quick ID. If you just turn on the radio and you don't know what's going on here, you're listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto KI5PZN on Sunday nights at 7:30. Via the University Link repeater system and the Oakhill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, well, I'm going to be looking for check-ins now. Any licensed operator is welcome to check in. If you're a new ham, this ham is ham-friendly. We'd love to hear from you. We put this hams together so that you can get on the radio and talk to us. And don't be nervous. I'm not going to be asking you any questions if you're a new ham. Any ham-related questions, I'm not going to be quizzing you on your test or anything like that. I'm not going to put you in a spot, but we would love to hear from you if you are a new ham. All right, well, everybody is welcome to check in. All you need to have is your valid ham license and your name. So please call Net Control with your name and your call sign if you would like to check in.
This is Whiskey Zulu 5 Bravo Sierra.
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha November.
This is Whiskey 5, Kilo Yankee Uniform.
This is Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Yankee Mike.
Looking for check-ins. We got 4 check-ins so far. Charlie Yankee Mike was the last one. If you would like to check into the net, please call Net Control with your name and call sign. All right. Let's go and check with Mr. Rusty, WZ5 EBS. Rusty, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you, my friend?
Hey, Ernesto, everybody on the net. It's a good weekend. Good weekend for sure. Friday didn't do a whole lot, just kind of dorked off at the house. Saturday got up early, went to Old Man breakfast, and then came home, had the house open for a little bit, and then you showed up, and we went and hung out at Paul's house and found KE5RS, John's Fox up in Leander. That was I like that fox, man. It was a fun little hunt. And then let's see. Today I was supposed to hang out with the niece and nephew for a little bit, but plans changed, so I got Sunday off, which was actually really pretty nice. So same thing, man. The weather was beautiful. Had the house open. I did a fox hunt this weekend, and it was hidden at the house. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see people yesterday, but Dirk came by today and found it. So congratulations to he and Sky. So hopefully we'll see how many people want to murder me for putting the fox in the same spot. But every time I do it, it's different, and it's in a different place. So I think that counts. But I know Sky got to meet Gary. I hope that encounter went well and no guns were exchanged. But you never know. Hopefully we'll hear from Sky later on.
Well, very cool, man. Sounds like you had an awesome weekend there, and having a Sunday off with this type of weather. Oh man, nice. It was really nice. I got to do a whole bunch of stuff outside without dying within the first half an hour. So what was the stuff? What's the scoop with the fox? Tell us more about it. I'm curious.
Well, I was up to no good, and it kind of bit me in the rear, but, needless to say, it was, this one was horizontally polarized. So instead of vertical, it was horizontal, and I had the mag mount on the garage door in the back, so it had a nice ground plane, and apparently it could be heard very well east and west. So kind of threw it off. The funny thing is everywhere I put it, it's different. I used my Fox this time, which was a half a watt, so it's a lot louder to kind of throw people off. And nobody comes here first to look, which I always find hilarious. But maybe next time. I don't know. I'm already thinking I've got some spaces. I'm going to put a Fox out again next weekend and have some fun. Next weekend's also the meeting. So for those of you all that want to come hang out, the N5 OAK Club meeting is next Saturday at 10 a.m. if you're not going to make it to Old Man Breakfast, which I will definitely not be at Old Man Breakfast next Saturday.
Well, man, what I say is you should go out and eat breakfast so they don't pass out halfway through the meeting. I'm going to be eating breakfast, but well, very cool, man. We got to go fox hunting that one on Leander. I get a chance to go and look for Sky and yours. I knew you were up to no good, so I didn't even try that one. But very cool, man. No, it's been definitely. I'm sure now. My guess is that the fox logs are going to be, we'll have more people because, this is a really, really nice weather, time of the year, I should say, to go out and do all of those things. But, well, very cool, man. Did you do any radio during the weekend? Back to you.
Other than the fox hunt, no, that was about it. And we got to convince old N5YAN to stop being such a crappy vice president of his club and get his members out to start fox hunting. We put that all on you, David. It's all your fault. Even though Young's the president, it's all your fault.
Well, well, David's going to be hosting the next Taco Net, so be nice to him because he might, give you a bad taco there, man. Back to you.
Yeah, you gotta watch out. I'll get the taco that fell on the floor. He'll give it to me. I know. But, nah, we love the UT club. David's a good sport, so, I'm sure he'll be good. But, we gotta get more UT people. We got Colby here on the net. He just got his new call sign. And maybe we can get Colby to, become a fox hunter. That would be a lot of fun. Get the UT kids involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Colby because I got his call sign and I didn't recognize it, and I looked him up and you were there and it says got zero lookups. I guess I'm the first one to look him up. Well, very cool, Rusty. Do you have anything else for the net before we continue?
I think Colby was in there chatting with you while you were there. Colby, was that you?
Yeah, that was me, sorry.
No worries, man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I joined this net because it's actually been one of the most eventful weekends I've had since I've been here at college. My grandparents came to town and I took my car over to visit them, and it had some problems. I had to inflate all the tires, and then I was due for a spark plug change, so I got in there and started to work on that. But then when I got to the fourth spark plug well, it was full of oil, so me and my folks ended up having to take apart the whole engine and get in there and replace the valve gaskets. But yeah, the car runs a little faster now. That was pretty much my whole Saturday gone right there. So today I've just been doing homework and went to church. Yeah, just hanging out with my roommate too a little bit. Back to you.
Roger, man. Well, we'll send it back to Net Control. KI-5, piece that in. It's all yours.
And Colby, we'll get to you in a little bit, but good talking to you, Rusty. Thank you for checking in to the net as usual. Pleasure talking to you. Hopefully you have an awesome week. We'll be talking to you soon. All right, well, this is KFI-PZN continuing with the Weekend Wind Down Net. We're going to go check now with Mr. David, N5YAN. David, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Thanks, Ernesto. Big shout out to Rusty, the benevolent dictator of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club. We at the UT Amateur Radio Club prefer to keep things more of a, at least perceived democracy. You know, we don't hold votes or anything, but at least we make them feel like they could have the potential to impact the trajectory of the club. No, I'm just playing. We'll have to get people fox hunting. Sky is donating that antenna, and I should be meeting up with him hopefully sometime soon. Stuff keeps happening, and I'm a bad student, so I keep running into things that prevent me from doing a lot of ham radio activities. Weekend's been pretty uneventful. This is like the cleanest my room has been, so, and it's still pretty dirty, so that's good, I guess, but it could be better. Just studying up for a math test. I'll let it drop. Cuidado, I like that nickname. That's good. Yeah. Anyways, back to you, Ernesto. Nice checking into the net as always, and I hope everyone has a nice night.
Very cool, David. Did you get to do any fox hunting this weekend, or were you just stuck, studying? Back to you.
Yeah, the weekend is usually when I go to the grocery store and then lock myself in my room for 48 hours to work on as much homework as possible. I have a math test coming up, linear algebra, and I'm getting my face kicked in, so I'm having to hit the books really hard, and hopefully I won't fail this class. I think that's on the cards, though, because this professor does not seem to like teaching, and that's always fun. But yeah, no fox hunting. I'll get into it eventually. I really prefer hiding them, and the little time that I do have for ham radio that isn't just checking into a net, I've been doing a lot of research into building my fox. Break. I have quite the devious plan. And it turns out the Mauser part filter does not do a great job selecting by frequency. So I found a lot of chips that will actually work on the 2-meter band. So my project's been reinvigorated a little bit, but these chips are quite a bit more complex than what I was working with before. So we'll have to see if I can get it working on the 2-meter band, and it'll be a real fun time. I already have ideas for, varying the output power and switching in attenuators and doing all sorts of fun stuff with directionality and modulating the power output and whatnot. So it'll be a fun time when the UT Fox eventually gets created, if ever. I keep saying it will be created, and then I proceed to get busy and not work on it for weeks. So we'll see how that goes. November 5, Yankee Alpha November, back to net.
Oh, man, I understand you're busy. I mean, Rusty's going to keep giving you a hard time because it's Rusty. But no, man, I totally get it. It gets, we have plans of doing, a million things, and well, now for you, school, and then it's going to be work, all the stuff that comes with adulthood. Man, I caught a mosquito while I was flying up to Miyagi here. But no, man, it's it could be worse, and it sounds like you're doing, just fine, keeping up with everything, staying on top of that. Because I always hear that you are either studying or doing your homework, so that's very cool that you're doing that. That says a lot, and it will help you also when you transfer to the workforce, because that's it would make it a lot easier since you already have good habits. I was going to ask you, ready for the TACOnet? It's getting closer. Back to you.
Yeah, we're still waiting to hear back from room reservation. I'm not sure if the person who offered their place up for the TACOnet wants that to be public or not, but a certain individual who has questionable ethical, moral standing offered their abode to host the TACOnet. So if UT doesn't get back to us about reserving a space, that'll be fun. And I'm really looking forward to the TACOnet. It'll be a nice break from everything, and I look forward to seeing everyone there. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, very cool, man. Yeah, I'm open to anything. We can do it at the park, we can do it at the house, whatever. Just let me know, and we'll show up. And it's fun, man. The last couple we've done, it's been a lot of fun, more laughing than talking, but it's part of the part of ham radio and having fun with the radio. That's what we got into this hobby to begin with. David, do you have anything else for the net, man, before we move on?
No, not really. I guess I'll just go ahead and shamelessly plug the UT Amateur Radio Club Weekly Net. You can catch it Wednesday nights on the KA5D repeater system and the N508K repeater system. It looks like this week, this upcoming week, Colby will be running the net, so that's exciting. I've been running the net pretty much all the time, so it'll be nice to be able to check in. And for the traveling TACOnet, please remind me to bring nopales. I need nopales tacos in my life. It's been too long. Anyways, November 5, Yankee Alpha November. Back to you, Ernesto, and have a good day.
All right, David. No, absolutely. I like nopales, so I'll remind you on that. Looking forward to the net, man. It will be fun. Either way, whatever we do it's going to be a fun event. And you guys stay tuned. We do the TACOnet. See, man, we can plug our nets here. It's amateur radio. We do that TACOnet on the last Friday of the month. And David, it's usually the guy running the UT net on Wednesdays. But yep. Well, dude, awesome. Thanks again for checking in. Have an awesome week, and we'll be talking to you soon. And you are listening to the Weekend Wind Down Net. And hosted by me, Ernesto, KI5PZ, and we're here every Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. We're going to go now and check with Ka, 35KYU. Ka, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hello, Ernesto. I am having a great weekend. I guess winding down today. was able to go to Fredericksburg this weekend. I guess a few weeks ago, the Aries team said, "Oh, we might need people from Fredericksburg. There might be an influx of people for the solar eclipse." But I guess there was they said, stand down, nothing major. So I think it's just a typical weekend in Fredericksburg this past weekend.
Very cool, man. I haven't been there in a while, but that's a nice town to go visit. And with this weather, I'm sure you had a great time there. But yeah, did you get to? You have glasses with you? Did you get to look at the eclipse? Back to you.
I did. I went to this one place, some kind of farm. They were selling these glasses and also these filters for your camera. But I think I don't have a good iPhone, like an older model, so the camera is so old that it was terrible going through that filter to try to get a good picture of that ring of fire. But I tried. But I did enjoy seeing it through those glasses. At least I can actually see almost a perfect ring there. So it was good. Back to you.
Man, absolutely. This is the first time for me seeing an actual eclipse. For whatever reason, I've never, been where they happen. And Sky and Father Lex gave me a pair of glasses at breakfast on Saturday, and while I was at the Miracle League game, I got to see that. It was really neat because it was like a sunny day. It was dimmed down in a way. I could totally see how like the natives back in the day will freak out when stuff like that would happen, and we'll have to kill a couple of chickens and sacrifice and whatever. I was gonna kill a couple of chickens, but I didn't do that. Very cool, man. I don't know. I should be on medication, but that's what they let me talk to you on the radio to calm me down. But cool, man. I was going to ask you, try fox hunting yet?
What's that? Come back.
I asked you if you have tried fox hunting yet.
Oh, I have not, but I guess next month's upcoming potluck at the park, I hear there will be some fox hunting there. I think I'm going to try to make that, and maybe I can participate. I think I have to figure out what additional equipment I would need to kind of like detect the potential fox there.
And not a whole lot is needed. You can go all out and spend thousands of dollars in equipment, or you can just step out with an HD and make it happen. There's more than one way to skin a cat, so we'll definitely show you how to do it. It's addictive. I will have to warn you. Once you get started, it's one of those things that you get kind of curious because each one of them are different locations, different challenges, different distances that you get depending on where you hide them. So very cool, man. I'm glad to hear that you are going to be trying that out. Do you have an HF rig already set up? Back to you, Kyle.
Yes, I'm also trying to get that ready for that weekend too. I hear from the Aries folks that they're gonna get their trailer out there and participate in that potluck weekend. So yeah, it looks like a lot of fun with a lot of people. Back to you.
And it's really awesome. We did the first one last year, and a whole bunch of people showed up, and we had a great time. It was great food. We hung out there. The weather was perfect. I can't remember if we had like 3 or 4 foxes hidden in the park. It was a really, really great time. So I hope that everybody can make it this year, and hopefully it'll become an Austin tradition. All right. Well, Kyle, do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
That's all I have this evening. Back to you, 73. Out.
All right, my friends, good to hearing from you. Hopefully we'll talk during the week on the radio, and we'll get to hang out soon. I think the meeting is coming. It's next Saturday, so hopefully we'll see you there. That was Cat, 35KYU. Now we're going to go and check with Kobe. KJ5CYM before I go to Colby, let me tell you guys that this is KI5PZN, and we're continuing with the Weekend Wind Down Net. Colby, what's going on, man? I heard that you have an exciting weekend, and congratulations on your new call. What's up, man?
Hey, y'all. It's good hanging out with y'all on the net. This is actually the first net I've ever joined, and that's largely thanks to David. He helped me get my Handy Talkies repeater settings set up today. Apologies for the interruption earlier, but yeah, y'all heard basically my whole Saturday was just car repairs and doing them while the eclipse was happening, so that was interesting. Today was just lots of homework, lots of studying. I've got my circuits exam this week. It's good to finally be on the air. It's been a long time coming. Back to you.
Very cool, man, and no need to apologize. There's no right or wrong here on ham radio. We're just, talking, whatever. It's a chilled environment. I was going to ask you, Colby, what got you interested in ham radio? Back to you.
So it's an interesting story. I didn't even know what it was like 3 months ago, but I was cleaning out my dad's attic, and there were lots of things in there that I'd never seen before, like a radio frequency generator and various antennas and odds and ends and things. And I was like, "Hey, what's all this stuff?" And he was like, "Yeah, that was a while ago, but like 20 years ago, I was a ham radio operator." Apparently back in the day when he went to school at Texas Tech, they forced them all as part of the electrical engineering degree to get their license. And so he was a extra class operator, but he unfortunately let his license expire, and he doesn't do much on the air, but me getting back into it is probably going to get him back into it. He has plans to learn Morse code, so maybe I'll do that with him. Good father-son time.
Very cool, man. That's a really cool story. Yeah, man, try to get him back on ham radio. I think all he's got to do is pass a technician again, and he gets all of the chips back. Which is really cool, man. And thank you, David, for helping Colby with that setup, getting him on the air. And let me ask you something. What got you into running a net the same week that you got your license? That's really awesome, man. I really admire you for that. Back to you.
Could you repeat last? There was some static where I'm sitting at.
Not a problem. I was going to ask you, so how did you end up signing up to run the net this week? This is the week that you got your license, and usually we have a hard time getting people to run the net because people are usually very nervous and they're not not up to the task. But what happened there? Back to you.
Yeah, so I've actually been listening in on the net every week that I've been in school, so that's been like 7 weeks now. So I feel like I have a pretty good idea of the way it's run. Also, I just want to get some practice on the air and practice taking down call signs, I just think it would be fun.
That's the hard running a net, in my opinion, is copying the call signs. Once you've been doing it for a while, and you get pretty familiar with the group of people, then it's easy because those people, you hear them all the time, and they just say this is, and you already know who they are, and you write everything down. But it's the hardest part for me when I started it. It took me about a year of being licensed before I sat down and ran a net, and I got to tell you, man. That first net that I ran, and I think I was helping out with the UT net. I had clammy hands. I forgot to breathe a whole bunch of times. I was about to pass out. I was very nervous, man. But I admire you that you're jumping in with your 2 feet and getting on. It's a lot of fun. What I tell people is find it, kind of scary or whatever. But It's talking. So we've been doing that since we were little. So, it's something that people shouldn't be afraid of. You just, write down the call sign and talk to people for a little bit and go to the next one. And that way you get to say hi to a bunch of people, which is pretty awesome. But I would say once people get through the first few, which is kind of, a little bit awkward, because I think the main thing with what I've gathered so far is that people are afraid of making mistakes on the air, but they shouldn't, because this is amateur radio, and just because of that, we can, as long as we're following the rules, we'll learn. But then once you get those first few nets out of the way, it becomes a lot of fun, because then you're not nervous or whatever anymore. But have you done public speaking in the past? Back to you, Colby.
I've done speaking. I've given a lot of speeches before, and so I'm not a big fan of public speaking, especially on stage, but over the radio it's not so bad. It's great fun. I'm excited to get to know all of y'all. It's actually by accident that I joined this net tonight. I had left my radio on after me and David's radio check earlier today, and so you came in loud, and I was just like, hey, what the heck, I might as well hop on. But yeah, it's going to be good to get to know you guys, and maybe do a fox hunt with y'all eventually.
Very cool, man. Yeah, we'll be more than happy to have you and show you how we do those things. Well, very cool, Colby. Do you have anything else for the net before we move on?
No, I do not. Back to you.
Man, well, it's really good having you on the net. Thanks for calling. And before you call it a day, go ahead and close your transmission with your call sign.
Yeah, this is Kilo Juliet 5, Yankee Charlie Mike, signing off.
All right, man. Thanks again for checking into the net, and we'll be chatting to you soon. That was Colby, KJ5CYM. And he was the last one on my first round of check-in, so if you would like to check into this awesome net, because it's an awesome net, please call Net Control with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-Ray, Brad in St. Paul, Minnesota.
I got you there. What's the last three of your call sign? I'm sorry, man. I'm getting used to it.
Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-Ray. Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-Ray.
All right, Kilo Echo 0, Yankee Romeo X-Ray. What's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Well, hey, Ernesto and the rest of the nets, KE0YRX. Weekend's going good. We had our local ARRL ham convention yesterday. Went to that. That was pretty good. I think they said it was the first time they had done it in 18 years. So I think a lot of people around here, we haven't really had a whole lot of ham conventions in the recent history. So it was pretty nice. A lot of people together. Met some people that I've talked to over the air and stuff. And but yeah, other than that, just kind of hanging out, making dinner right now, listening to the net. Just doing a little bit of radio this weekend and such. But send it back over to you.
Very cool, man. That's exciting. I remember when we were, just coming out of the pandemic. When we started the Ham Fest here, the Belson Ham Fest here in Texas, it was a big deal, man. Everybody and their mom got out. People who never attended to the Ham Fest went out there. Their XYL, and everybody went out, and hotels and everything was booked. They were booked, and a lot of people came out on those first couple right after the pandemic. So I can totally see it's been 18 years since the last time you guys had one. I'm sure it was quite an event. And then the other thing is, 18 years of not having a ham fest, I guess, gives people enough chances of accumulating a whole bunch of radios and gear. Did you end up coming home with a bunch of stuff? Back to you.
And actually, I was kind of surprised that they didn't have any kind of for sale stuff there. It was kind of more, almost more classroom type thing that they had. They had a lot of different presenters. I think about 20 different presenters. Over the course of the day, I saw a few different things. Probably the most notable one, which I really want to try to get into, is doing POTA. Guy kind of talked about doing it and activations and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, in Minnesota here, we have quite a few state parks and state forests. So I'd like to give that a try. And, you know, but yeah, it was really cool. Like I said, there was a couple hundred people showed up. And yeah, it was pretty fun overall. Back to you.
Very cool, man. No, I've never heard of one like that, because the one that I've been to is just, you know, a huge flea market of just all kinds of junk. But fun junk, I should say. But very cool. No, that's neat. And we have a bunch of guys here that's very active in POTA. I don't do it because I'm too lazy to get out, and, you know, plus, you know, I'm old. But the guys that are into it, they're really active around here in Central Texas. Obviously, we got opposite sides of the spectrum here, I'm guessing, because they'll probably get started now again after, you know, ending the 120 degrees days for I don't know how many months. So I'm sure they're going to start coming out again throughout the winter, which you guys probably, you know, go and hibernate. We get out throughout the winter, and then we start hibernating again in June until September. Back to you.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, we're kind of probably the opposite. I mean, we get pretty hot in the summer, but obviously, you know, our summer is about a month and a half long, and now we're in the wind down to winter. It was actually pretty nice today, but it was about 50 degrees. This morning I was out, I had my mag loop up in my backyard. I was trying to make some contacts. Didn't really get too many today. There's a lot of noise on the bands, and at least with my mag loop. And but yeah, I was sitting out there. I think it was like 42 degrees, and I was freezing my butt off doing that. But it was kind of fun doing it. I was trying to set up and kind of test out for doing a POTA type situation. I camp a ton, so I might as well do that, you know, get out there and do that. So, yeah, back to you.
Yeah, very cool, but it's funny to hear that, you know, you were freezing, because it's nice weather here still, but if you're out doing stuff, you're going to start sweating. At least I do, because I'm, you know, I have lava for blood. But, yeah, no, it's interesting. And what time is when, you know, what time of the month, or this month, I'm guessing, is when you guys have your cutoff where you can't be, like, out there hanging out because it just gets too cold? Back to you.
You know, it kind of depends, I think, on the person. I mean, we have tons of winter activities that people do, you know, obviously like skiing, snowboarding, all that kind of stuff. I don't like the cold and stuff, but, I mean, I get out there and you know, as long as it's not like 20 below, get out there and, you know, you can do stuff outside and whatnot. And I bought a fat bicycle this year. Maybe try to ride that around in the wintertime, see how that goes. But realistically, I mean, to answer your question, is I think about probably by November, beginning of November is when it really kind of gets cold, and you're pretty much inside until about March. Back over to you.
Right on, man. Yeah, totally the opposite from here, because that's when we get out. Then when you guys get out, we get back in. But funny thing, I was driving around today, running a couple of errands, and I don't know. I guess people, depending from where they're from originally, I guess that would make a difference. But I saw a lady walking a little Chihuahua, and she had like this thick coat on that Chihuahua, little jacket. And I looked at the truck, and it was like 74 degrees or 75 degrees. I'm like, that dog is going to melt, knucklehead. But yeah, I guess she was cold and thought that the dog would be freezing at 74 degrees. What do you think about that, Brad?
Yeah, you know, little funny story to go with that. Probably about 10 years ago, I went to Florida, during the winter time, and it was probably 20, 30 below here. And I think it was probably in the 50s, 60s or something when I was there. And I went out with a friend, and we were just out walking. I had shorts and a T-shirt on, and there was a whole bunch of people out that were out walking. They're all wearing, like, parkas and everything, and I'm just there in shorts and a T-shirt, and, you know, kind of funny. But, you know, it's like that was super warm for me compared to what we came to, you know, and then come back into the freezing, cold, frigid temperatures. Yeah. But, yeah, pretty funny. Back to you.
It's kind of fun. I grew up in the tropics. For whatever reason, I never liked the heat and the humidity, so I feel a lot more comfortable in the colder temperature. I ride motorcycles, you know, since I was a kid, and here in Austin, it could be like, you know, in the 40s, you know, mid 40s, low 40s, and I'm still riding my motorcycle, and, you know, people look at you like you're just completely insane, or, you know, I guess high on crack, but no, it doesn't bug me that much. But yeah, it's funny when I see that. And then it's funny, the other part is my YL, she's from Chicago. She grew up there too. When the temperature, you know, dips below like 72 degrees, that she gets cold. So go figure, man. But do you have anything else for the net before we move on, my friend?
No, I don't think so. But yeah, thanks for running the net tonight, Ernesto, and you know, everybody else on the net out there will be listening in. Yeah, I got to get back to cooking my dinner anyways here. So, yeah, send it back over to you. This is KE0YRX.
All right, bud. Bon appetit. I hope everything goes well there, and you have an awesome week. Thanks again for calling in and checking into the Weekend Wind Down Net. You are making me feel here important and calling in from Minnesota. So thanks again, man. That was Brad, KE0YRX. It'll flow eventually. He was my last check-in, and we still have time for check-in. So if you would like to check in to the Weekend Wind Down Net, all you got to do is call Man Control with your name and call sign.
November 5, Whiskey, Romeo Whiskey.
Craig, Kilo 5, Alpha Yankee Oscar.
Will, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot uniform.
At the last one, Whiskey 6, and then I did not catch the rest. Can you come back, please?
Yeah, sure, sorry about that. Yeah, sure, sorry about that. That's Will, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot uniform.
You will. Alright, well, let's go and check with Dwight, N5WRW. Dwight, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Pretty good. I just was on 40 meter CW and not pushing a great deal, but I made a couple of contacts anyway. I need a better antenna, that's for sure. I'll sort of be in and out here. Just wanted to check in, say hi. N5WRW.
All right, Dwight. Well, appreciate you checking in. So CW is getting a little bit better, easier for you. You dusting off on that skill. Back to you. I know you used to do that before.
Yeah, I don't know. This was supposed to be a slow speed test, and if there was anybody going less than 20, I'd be really surprised.
Maybe they were, you know, having sugary drinks and got all excited over there like little kids and forgot that they need to slow down. Yeah, no, it's funny. There's a sweet spot there where I can copy. I think it's between like 12 and I don't know, a little bit faster than 15, but slower than 20. If it goes either too slow or too fast, then I'm completely deaf. Still practicing on that. But well, very cool, man. Anything else exciting happening there?
No, not really. Just I've got a big fiberglass pole thing, and I want to put the end of my wire antenna up higher, my HF antenna. But I'm going to get my son's going to come by. It's definitely not a one-man job.
When it comes to antennas, yeah, you want to have help. Even if the poles that you're working on are, light, it's good to have somebody spotting. You never know, that it's an antenna. You can touch something dangerous and all of the things. But very cool. Is he coming soon to get you all set up? Back to you.
Oh, maybe in the next few days. He only just lives up the street, not very far away.
Right on, man. Well, yeah, just bug him so he can help you out and get that stuff quickly, man, because that's important. The bands are active. This is the time. This is time to get out there. Well, very cool, Dwight. Hope you have an awesome week, and thanks again for checking into tonight's net. And I hope that you get to do some more radio and you get all that straightened out soon, man. All right.
Roger. Have a good evening. N5WRW.
Hi, Dwight. Have a good night, like I said, and we'll talk to you soon. This is K5PZM continuing with the Weekend Wind Down Net. All right, we're going to go check now with K5AYO. Craig, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Hey, Ernesto. Weekend's been great. I mean, that eclipse was pretty awesome. Watching it through a telescope that I have with a solar filter on the end, so no problem with any risk to the eye. But I also got a 19-meter band wire antenna up in the tree this weekend, which I'm connecting to my vintage stereo so I can try and listen to some of the broadcasts from Europe in the morning and Asia in the evening, just to see how that thing works. So that's going to be kind of fun. That was a pretty successful weekend, I would say. So back to you.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, that sounds really awesome. I mean, a telescope with a solar filter. It's funny. I got the those glasses, and I was looking, and I could see it really clearly. And I tried to take a picture with my phone, and my phone is just a piece of junk. It's it's not a good phone. I guess it's a geezer phone too. So it was a joke, but it was really cool to get to see that through the glasses. I can't imagine having access to a telescope. Were you able to take pictures? Back to you.
Yeah, I was able to put my phone up to the eyepiece, the 600-millimeter telescope that I had in my backyard, and the problem, if there's a problem, is that the sun fills half or two-thirds of the viewing space. So when you look at it through the telescope, you just see so much of the sun and not a lot of the background, so you don't get the perspective, but you definitely get the view of the moon and the crescent as it's moving. It's pretty wild. So I got a few pictures on my phone. I have a nice Canon D6 that I was trying to get working on there, and I've gotten it to work with just the moon, but just was having problems zooming and getting focus on the eclipse yesterday. So I'll work on that for the next one, which is coming up in April. Back to you.
Perfect time to work all the bugs for the big one that's coming up. Just reminded me when I was younger. I remember I used to work at this forest because before I became an accountant, I was in biology major, and we used to do research in the forest. And I remember that was the one thing that we always have to look for whenever we're taking, buying binoculars. It was something about the field that you want enough power to get to see far away, but you also need the field to have the perspective. And I forgot about that until you just mentioned that now. So I guess it's similar with the telescope, right? Back to you.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really cool, but the whole perspective was just off a little bit, and you can see so much. And so, yeah, with photography, better to have a little bit of perspective, but through a telescope, you're basically looking at, the moon pretty large, and you're looking at the sun pretty large. So, not much you can do about it, I think, unless you get a weaker telescope or shorter camera. Back to you.
Awesome, man. Yeah, we have some people in the club that are into that, and they have telescopes, and they attend to the star parties and stuff. So it's, if you want to, hook up with other people who are into the same thing, you might want to check into Discord if you haven't, because there's a decent group here within the club that are into astronomy. So very cool, man. And was the radio successful? The shortwave, the antenna that you installed? Back to you.
Well, I just connected it tonight. I'm waiting for my wife to go to bed so I can turn it on, because she's sitting right near it working on some furniture or something that she wants to buy. So I need her to go to bed soon. That's why I'm outside right now talking to you all. But I'll report in later and let you know how it goes. K5AYO, back to you, Ernesto.
Right on, man. No, I totally get it. I live in a small house, and usually like after 10:30, which is when my YL goes to bed, if I want to talk on the radio, I have to step outside and and talk out there. But I totally get it, man. Yeah, man, let us know if you can check in next week and let us know how that goes. I'm curious. Do you have anything else, Greg, for the net before we move on? Back to you.
Nothing really big. I am on the Discord server, so I'll take a look for the astronomy folks, but I've heard a week or two ago about some people that are into stereo restoration. That's something else that I do for fun, so it sounds like there's some other people with some similar interests here, but thanks for the great talk tonight, and this is K5AYO. Back to you, Ernesto.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, no, we have all kinds of flavors, man. We have all kinds of flavors, and we have somebody into something here in this club for all of the hobbies that are out there, which is really nice. You talk to people, you don't know who you're talking to, and then you find out all of their other hobbies, and it's a really cool. That's why one of the things that I like about ham radio is just you get to meet so many people with such a variety. Yeah, it's just very, very. Very cool to meet people with a very, different backgrounds and learn all those things. So, right on, that was great. K5AYO, thank you for checking into the net. And before we go check with Will, let me do a real ID here. The Weekend Wind Down Net, hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN, on Sunday nights at 7:30 p.m. via the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. All right, we're going to go now and check with Will. W6SU. Well, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Howdy, Ernesto, and the rest of the net. This is Will, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot uniform. Weekend's treating me pretty good. Been a little busy. I've got the haunted house coming up this weekend in Dripping Springs. Collecting trailers, building rails, and doing all that kind of stuff. Did a news interview with the Fox 7 Austin news crew. I was driving around on the trailer with a bunch of hay on it, but so I wasn't really doing the interview, but that was fun to go meet the news crew you see in the morning. I didn't realize there was a weekend wind down net. I was just out here trying to make a CW contact or two, and turned on the radio and heard you guys, so I thought I'd say hi. Let me drop real quick. Yeah, the band seemed kind of dead tonight. I didn't hear anybody on CW. Yeah, I was I was listening to Dwight earlier saying he's sitting out there on 40 meters, waiting for everybody to go below 20, and it just doesn't happen sometimes, does it? I'm more about 10 myself, so I can feel his pain. But nothing out there today. So I was just doing a little bit of FT8 earlier, just racking up countries and stuff. That's kind of fun. I guess that's pretty much all I've got. I guess I could give it back to you, Ernesto. This is Will, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot uniform.
cool, Will. Sounds like you have a bunch of stuff going on, and that all sounded really fun. Obviously, the haunted house, that's a fun project for sure. It's funny. I would like to have like if you were able to put hidden cameras for us to watch what's going on. But this is radio; we can't do that. But yeah, it will be kind of fun to see that. And very cool, man. Fine business with the TV interview. That's awesome. I don't know, well, at least on the appearance, you got to meet the guys. That's really cool. And you said that you are about 12 words per minute on CW. Back to you, Will.
Yeah, it kind of comes and goes. I haven't done it for a little while, so I was trying to fish at about 8 words per minute, then get comfortable with that, bump up to 10, and maybe bump up to 12. Get some practice in, and I've been trying to hit the radio a little bit more the past month, so maybe we can get those numbers up. I've been looking for a way to get this antenna about 30 to 35 feet up, and I think I finally came up with the solution. They make these light towers that are on like 6 kilowatt generators that was thinking about buying one of those off Craigslist for a couple bucks and taking off the lights and putting on an antenna mount, and then you've got a portable generator / antenna, 30-foot mast. So looking into that right now. We'll see if I could actually get something together that'll give me a little bit better reception, a little bit, better radio contact. So we'll see if I can get that together.
Good idea. That sounds like a fun project. And if you don't mind, and you're on Discord, it'll be really cool if you can share the pictures if you get to that project. That'll be really cool to see, man. Usually, where do you hang out for CW? What's your corner if you have one? Back to you.
I don't really have one. To be honest with you, my dipole is best on like 40 and 80 meters, so I'd play on there a little bit. My dipole's still stuck in the tree. I was looking at how I'm going to get that out of there, and I'm not sure how I'm going to get there yet, but it's going to include a pole saw and a bunch of ladders. So we'll see. But this new antenna is 6 through 20, so I don't really have a home there. But there's the FT8 modes you can see. I like to get a little bit lower in the band than those. That seems to be where the action's at.
Yeah, right on, man. It's funny. I look and usually hear stuff on 40 meters. I forget where I go. Well, I'm using the same radio right now. I'm on a 991, so I can't go back and look. I packed all of my radios. So, but I know I get over there in the lower side of the 40 meter band, and there's usually people on CW, and I can find people that are okay. They're not going too fast. But the other place where I can go and kind of, understand a little bit because they're not going too fast or too slow is on near where we do the CW net on Thursday on the 80 meter band as well. That's we do that with 35, 32 around that area. I usually find people that are keying in at a decent speed that I can copy or get close to copy. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things. I guess we'll have to find the sweet spot over there where to go and park and our CW practice. Over to you, Will.
Yep, that's the only way you're going to get better. Practice. It's the only way to learn that stuff is brute force. But on the CW channel, on Discord, we just hit anybody up, and if anybody's around, you can jump on. I would offer, but it looks like the near field of this antenna is pretty terrible. It gets far really, really well, but near does not seem to be working all that well. We'll see how that looks when I get it to a proper height, or when I get my dipole back functional, I can bring in then too. But yeah, Sam and Pat and everybody else in that channel are usually down to do slow speed CW at any time.
Oh man, absolutely. They're very helpful. I go there every once in a while. I can't participate every Thursday, but I'll try to jump in for a little bit and do, short QSOs. I'm still new, but well, very cool, man. Yeah, we'd like to hear about your antenna once you get it all fixed. We're here every Sunday night at 7:30. It's Weekend Winding Down Net. I think we've been doing this for a little bit, close to a year and a half now. But yeah, man, it's chill net to come in and unwind at the end of the weekend. So I'm glad that you found us and that you check in too, man. You have anything else for the net? Will, back to you.
I think we pretty much covered it, Ernesto. I'll give it back to you. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and hope the coming week's going to be good to you as well. This is Will, Whiskey 6, Foxtrot Uniform, back to net control. Have a good evening, y'all.
All right, Will, 73. Hope you have an awesome week, and we'll be talking to you soon. That was Will, W6FU. We still have time for check-in, so if you would like to check in to the Weekend Winding Down Net, all you got to do is call net control with your name and call sign.
Yeah, this is Brand Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Zulu, checking in.
This is Kilo 5, Juliet Mike, K5JM, Sam.
Hi. Brent, and we got Sam. We're going to go and check with Brent. KJ5, Charlie Zulu. Brent, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you?
Man, the weekend was awesome. I went to church with my daughter today and 3 of her girlfriends, and that was so, oh my. And then we went to a Buddhist temple and had some great food. It was a lot of fun. I went for a walk with a nice girl, so yeah, it's been a very wonderful weekend, coupled with the fantastic weather, and just makes it that much more nourishing for my soul. Did a sky watch on Friday night, and that was a good deal. That was very successful. And thanks, Rusty, for posting that flyer. Got another one coming up. Guaranteed some options up there. And yeah, I'm really kind of cutting myself a little fast here. The club really helps fill a lot of my time, and it nourishes me just the way I like it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, right on, man. Glad that you are having fun. Sounds like you had an awesome weekend there. Got to spend some time with your daughter, and this weather, perfect weather for a walk. I should do that too. I remember the doctor asked me to do it. I just keep forgetting. But very cool, man. And sounds like you're making it to the repeater now. That's also good news. With good seeing you at Paul's house the other day on Saturday, and Pickles as well. Very cool, Brent. Do you have anything else for the net, my friend?
Paul's nickname is Geppetto.
Say that again?
His name Paul Geppetto, Pinocchio's dad.
Right on, man. Yeah, Paul is a character, and he's got really good stories for sure, man. We all like him. Mr. Paul. Well, very cool, Brent. Do you have anything else before we move on, my friend?
Oh, I really don't have anything else. I just want to say thank you for always pulling the load and doing that, and being, Rusty, for being the nucleus to keep us all together. This is Kilo Juliet 5 Charlie Zulu 73. Thank you.
Hi, Brent. It's a pleasure talking to you, man. Thanks for checking into tonight's net. I hope you have an awesome week, and we'll be hanging out for sure, man. We'll be talking to you during the week, and I guess on the weekend for sure. All right, that was Brent, KJ5 Charlie Zulu. Now we're going to go check with Sam. K5JM. Sam, what's going on, man? How is the weekend treating you, my friend?
This is K5JM. Sam, hey, Ernesto. Thanks for running the net. It's been a pretty good weekend here. It's good hearing you on the 220 Good Guys and Gals net last night. That was fun. I know sometimes the local machine's been reconnected and sometimes it hasn't, so at least I don't know if you were which way you were coming in, if you were on the 220 machine or not, but that was fun. And radio-wise, yeah, actually I've spent a fair amount of this weekend kind of, at least today and Friday, working on some radio stuff. Have an All-Star project. I have my old 220 and 440 All-Star nodes and have some network, like a rack. I'm going to put that stuff in the closet there in the ham shack, so went to Home Depot today to do all that. And Bill had given me an alert the other day that I guess 10 meters with the eclipse was really rocking. I don't know if they're related, but yeah, I was hearing that 10-meter FM repeater coming in from New York State and then one in Canada, and I was just sitting there in Florida. It was coming in like plus 60 here, so that was pretty cool. Tried a couple of QSOs. I think I was getting in, but a lot of traffic, so I don't think I was getting picked up. But otherwise, yeah, I think I said earlier this week or last week that I was gonna get the old man breakfast. I just didn't get up in time to make that happen. But sounds like you made a guest appearance there, and I hope to definitely be at the club meeting next weekend, and then hopefully a breakfast at some point soon. But hey, I was gonna ask you. I mean, you don't have to stay on the air. So, are you staying here in town? I heard you were moving.
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no, I'm staying in town. We're just moving to North Austin. But we're going to Gypsy Live. We are going to move also into an Airstream, and we're going to be, well, traveling and doing stuff around, having fun, but, having the headquarters in North Austin. So that's what I've been purging. Even though we live in a very small house, it feels like, a lot of stuff to get rid of, and that's what I've been doing for the last, month or so, aside from the other projects that I've been doing too. But yeah, no, man, that's what's up. So all I have now here is the 991A and the dual bander antenna and the NFET, and that's it. Everything else backed up. I'm gonna, set something up on the Airstream too, of course. I will. But yeah, it feels weird having just one radio here at the house and, not the setup that I had before. But it's still work, man. It's still, I'm getting out there. Back to you.
Very cool, man. Well, yeah, I'll reach out to you on Discord if you get to catch up, and I'd love to hear more about that. But well, yeah, I guess that's about it. Yeah, the CW net was another good net, and hope to hear Will. Maybe he'll be able to get on this time, and yeah, anyone's welcome, of course. And I guess that's it for radio stuff. So thanks for running the net. It's good seeing you at Belton, of course, and we'll see you here soon on the next one. Maybe let's see. I guess you're probably all packed up for the Southside Simplex, but yeah, I guess the neighborhood over there won't be the same without all your antenna farm. But I'm sure you'll have some new stuff that'll crop up. So talk to you here soon. K5JM.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I think I'm still going to put the dual bander up there, and the 10-meter one, the vertical, and the NFET. I mean, it's just, once you get, this is like a mafia. Once you get into this, you can't step away from it because it'll drive you insane. But, well, very cool, man. Really happy to hear that you were messing around with the 10-meter repeaters. It's interesting. I haven't been able to mess with them. I guess I keep forgetting that they're up there, up there in the band, and I usually hang out where the technicians are, because, that's usually where a bunch of people are hanging out. But yeah, man, looking forward to seeing you on breakfast. It's happening every Saturday. So it's, whenever you have a chance, obviously, work and life are very important, but whenever there's a chance, and if you are up kind of early, we would love to see you there, Sam. Do you have anything else for the net, Sam, before we move on?
No, that's it. Other than I just a funny story. When I got back from Belton, I found myself on QRZ.com on the swap meet page looking around for stuff. I guess that's, it just never stops. You're always looking for a good deal. But that's it. Have a good night, Ernesto. K5JM.
Sam, and thanks again for checking into the net. I know how it goes. It's hard not to buy stuff, especially if it's, interesting things that we see, which is usually what happens when you go to a ham fest if you are a new ham. I was going to say something before I start wrapping up the net. Just for, those of you who have been on the air for a little bit and have your ham license for a while and you feel comfortable on the repeater and all of those things. Whenever you hear a new ham calling in, if you whether it's a new ham or a call that we don't recognize, if you have the chance, if you have the ability to get back with them and at least give them a signal report, that's really cool because, we all start at some point and ham radio, and at first you don't know a whole lot of people, and it's kind of frustrating and, kind of a bummer when you put your call sign out there and nobody gets back with you. And we all been through that. So just as a reminder, if you have a chance, obviously sometimes we're working, we can't do that, but if you have a chance, get out there and say hi to the new hams. It makes a huge difference. You probably don't remember that because you might be, been doing this for a while, but if you can think back when you started, it's a huge difference when somebody comes back to you when you put your call out there on the repeater. So keep that in mind. When you get a chance, like I said, get out there and say hi to the new hams and keep the ball rolling because it's fun, guys. It's time to wrap up the net, but before I do that, I am going to read you a list of the local nets so you can stay radioactive throughout the week. On Mondays, we have 4 nets because we are awesome. We get started with the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Monday, and that's on the 50.125 megahertz, and that's all of this nets on Mondays are 8 p.m. So 6-meter Monday, 50.125 at 8 p.m. I just said that. Also, the Williamson County Amateur Radio Club New Ham Net, and that's on the 146.640 megahertz repeater. The weekly YL Net on the Oak Hill repeater system, that's a fun one. That's on South Dallas, somewhere around there. The Texas A&M University Amateur Radio Club Information and Training Net, that's on the University Link repeater system. On Tuesdays, we have 2 nets. We have at 6 p.m. the Absolute Tech Net. The Absolute Tech Net is at 6 p.m. on the Oak Hill repeater system. And at 8 p.m., the one on the 146.555, 146.555, the Oak Hill Southside Simplex, hosted by Ray, K5BZI, and that's at 8 p.m. Wednesday is the UT Amateur Radio Club Wednesday Net. That's on the University Link repeater system and the N50AK repeater system, and they get started at 8 p.m. Thursday night, we have 2 nets. We have the Oak Hill CW Net, hosted by Pat, W5WTH, and that's on the 3.532, 3532 megahertz, at 7:30 p.m. At 8 p.m., it's the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by a different operator every week, and that's on the N50AK repeater system and the University Link repeater system. Again, that's at 8 p.m. On Fridays, and only on the last Friday of the month, the Traveling Taco Net, where Ernesto KI5PZN goes and visits you guys. You send him an invitation, and he shows up to your QTH. He brings tacos. You guys eat tacos, talk about tacos, radios, and hang out with everybody. It's been a lot of fun for the last 2 we've done, so the next one is coming up in 2 weeks. And we're going to be hanging out with David, N5YAN. And then on Saturdays, we have 3 nets. We have the K5LBJ News and Information Net, and that's on the N50AK repeater system and the University Link repeater system around 10 a.m. At 7 p.m. on Saturdays, the Austin Amateur Radio Club Elmer's Net, hosted by Jeff N5MNW on the 146.940 megahertz repeater at 7 p.m. 9 p.m. on Saturdays at 220 megahertz, guys, original preservation net hosted by Steve, KB9DSQ. That's on the 224.100 repeater. At 9 p.m. on Echolink, you can connect to WM9W-Romeo. That's Whiskey Mike 9er Whiskey-Romeo, our awesome net, and that's on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. On Sundays, we have 4 nets. Because, we got to wrap it up with an awesome day. We have the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter weekly net, and that's on the 28.410 megahertz at 3 p.m. At 7 p.m., the Travis County Aries weekly net, that's on the 147.360 megahertz. And at 7:30, this one, the Weekend Wind Down net, hosted by me, Ernesto, KI5PZN, and this is on the University Link repeater system and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. Coming up at 9 o'clock, the Austin Amateur Radio Club SwapNet, hosted by Jeff, and 5MNW. That's on the 146.940 megahertz. And again, that's coming up now at 9 p.m. Don't forget to go to n5oak.org to check the calendar for the DMR machine. We have a DMR machine. It has nets almost every night. And you can also check all of these nets that I just talked to you about on the calendar page on the n5oak.org. Count on tonight's check-ins, and we have 10 check-ins tonight. We fill up the sheet, so that makes me happy. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for checking in to tonight's net. That was Rusty, David, Ka, Colby, Brad, Dwight, Craig, Will, Brent, and Sam, and yours truly. Thank you for joining me tonight on the Weekend Wind Down net. I hope that even if your weekend was a bust, and definitely if it was a blast, that we all keep the momentum focused on the positive, and here's to a great start to your week. Again, to Kyle, KA5D, and the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club and 5OAK for letting me use the repeater system to run this net. To learn more about the University Link repeater system, please visit ka5d.com. If you would like to learn more about the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, including how to become a member and how to join their Discord server, please visit n5oak.org. That's the KI5PZN, and from my QTH in East Austin, Texas, 73, and thanks again for participating and listening tonight. This system is now returned to regular amateur use. Good night, y'all.